Could you talk about generational karma? I recently had an insight that I am witnessing the ripples of what happened to my granddad almost a century ago. There was a suicide in my family and somehow the trauma is still here. Recently, my friend committed a suicide and I'm feeling guilty, almost like I have to heal this for my ancestors. Does it make sense or am I making this up? Yeah, totally. We are all, sorry, I'm just shivering. Oh, maybe. I think it was because I was cold, or maybe it was because of the suicide thing. Yeah, of course, there is traumas. So to me, karma, so when I speak about karma, I say it's like conditions and genetics. Like genetics to me are past lives. I don't know how it quite works, but it's like family driven. So in a way, you are like the reincarnation of your grandparents, of your great-grandparents, of your great-great-grandparents. Like if you looked at animals and like bred animals, you would see this more rapidly, especially dogs. Like, so if you bred dogs, you would see like the same characteristics, the same traumas, the same behaviors. One thing that surprised me about Khaleesi is she's my dog. I'll just show you Khaleesi. She is a rescue dog from Thailand. Well, I suppose she's not a rescue dog. She's a street dog. She's not like from a rescue center, but she's a street dog. Hello, Ee. Are you cuddling your little toy there? Are you? You cuddling your toy? So she is a street dog originally, and when she came to live with me, I think she was only like a month old or something, and her parents got killed. And so I don't think her mum and dad had much time to teach her stuff. And so she then grew up in the forest. I was living in the forest. And then I would take her down to the town on the bike. And in Thailand, you don't have to control your dog, so she could just run around with the other dogs and do whatever. You just take her to the restaurant, it just didn't matter. And I noticed that she would go and sit by a human with plastic bags. And I knew, because I'd watched her, and that she hadn't had that interaction in this life. She didn't know, because what she was doing was she was begging for food. Like, it was like she was hunting for food, because that's what her parents, her grandparents, her great-grandparents, her great-grandparents done. They'd all begged from tourists. So they would go outside where the tourists were. This is on a tourist island, and the tourists would have plastic bags, and they knew that tourists with plastic bag would give them food. I know you almost will be thinking, yeah, but she might have learned that when she was like a month old with her mom, or you might not have seen her learn that, but I'm pretty sure she never learned that. That's a genetic thing. And they also did this experiment on rats, which I'm totally against them testing psychology on rats or mice or monkeys or anything. But I shall share this information as it's already been done. So they traumatized the mother rat, and then when the babies were born, they had that trauma. So they traumatized the rat, say, with a pencil, and then every time the pencil was seen, the mother rat would freak out. And then when she had babies, they never showed the baby or the mother rat the pencil. And then when the babies were old enough, they removed the mother rat, they showed the pencil to the babies, and then the babies were all freaked out by the pencil. So that, like, what we do when we breed, like if you looked at us like computers, is what we're really doing is we're just passing on the information, but growing a new body. It's like growing new leaves from that tree. So if you saw that tree, it's a rubber plant. If you saw like all the leaves as individual humans, it's like it's evolving through the contact of those leaves with the outside world. and it's evolving through the contact with the soil. So if you speed it up like millions and millions of years, you would see it evolve. Each leaf gives back the system new information about the external environment. And then the new leaf that's grown has that information and then evolves and gains more information. That process keeps going on. And that's what we are as humans. It is really cool. Our problem is that we're always seeing ourselves as these individual entities that live separately. Ramesh Balsekar, he used to say, when people would pester him, what can I do? What can I do? He'd say, if you really want to do something, in the evening, sit down with a whiskey, he would say, and ask yourself, when I made a choice? When was the moment a choice was made? And if you really do this properly, you'll find that this choice can go right back to the beginning of time. You can't find the beginning of a choice because there is no independence. Like one thing affects the other, and that includes our DNA and our makeup. So what we are is we're our walking, talking ancestors. There is nothing that actually dies. The information is just being passed on and passed on and passed on. And the consciousness is looking through these different bodies. And the body is so obsessed with my own mortality and my own independence and my own individuality. And this is a lie. There isn't that. We're sitting here speaking, but we only know speaking through all our ancestors. Our computer is only here through all the ancestors. It's so amazing. And then simultaneously at the same time, none of that exists. It's all in our mind. So yes, at the same time, you're making up Anastasia. There is just right here, and everything else is imagination. It's all a dream. That's so cool. Should we seek to heal it, as in not to pass it to my kids? I think, Anastasia, that question is for you. Like, what if I reverse that and ask you, what would your answer be? If you want to. And that want is never really your want. If you want to, then it will be healed. That sounds like a nice idea, like then it's not passed on to your kids. And I always feel like it's the polite thing to do to, keep examining your dynamics and improving your dynamics. But I feel like that you're your own authority over that. And that's really beautiful. Like you have the strength and the power in you to know the answer to that. And I'll just give you a hint, there is absolutely no wrong answer to that. Nice. Danke, Anastasia. Hey, Dennis, Lisa. Dr. Joan Stolk is quoted as saying, what a great last name, Stolk. Is quoted as saying, we are our ancestors and our purpose in this life. We are our ancestors, and our purpose in this life is to be a good ancestor. Your friend in Kentucky. Nice. Danke for that. Hi, Anastasia. I mean, not hi, but like she sent me a heart. Heart, Anastasia.